It is now time for oral questions. The Leader of Her Majesty's Loyal Opposition.
Thank you, Speaker. Speaker, my question's to the Minister of Finance. Minister, could you please brief the Assembly on the additional costs in your budget from the Liberal government's decision to cancel both the Oakville and Mississauga gas plants?
Thank you, Minister of Finance.
So, Mr. Speaker, the members of the opposition are inquiring about something that they said they would do. Members of the opposition are saying, we'll cancel the power plant. In fact, the Leader of the opposition was there in a bus doing a press conference with a pink elephant, no less, saying, we are the ones that will stop the power plant. We are the ones that will cancel it. We said we would move it. And the member now is suggesting that somehow what they said they would do, they now say they could not do. We at this side of the House said we would, a promise they made that we kept, and we've accounted for it, and it is going through as it should be, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
What it is they're doing. And we know that we've got to do better to try to stop it. So then I went off and we fought Lakeview and we fought Clarkson and we fought for Oakville. And we've had some success because of the engagement of our community. Dr. Mowat, Dr. Boyd Upper, and Dorothy Tomiak, I congratulate the three of you for having been engaged throughout that process. I sat on the Clarkson Airshed Advisory Committee with Dr. Boyd Upper during that time to try to find ways to alleviate some of the issues that we are facing. I also sit on the Petro-Canada Liaison Committee. These are all airshed issues. And as a result of the disbandment of those committees, or at least the one of them, the Clarkson Airshed Advisory Committee, I fought hard for the Balzilli Task Force. And why? Because we need a form. We need a means by which we can fight this in a civil way with the government. We need to have the statistics and the reasons for which we can stop this. So the Balzilli report came up with an extremely important report. And that report was, we cannot have any more emitters in our sensitive airshed. That airshed report enabled us now to do this pilot, something that's going to enable us to do something a little bit more proactive to safeguard these young kids. Because it's not just about us, it's about our future. And I'm not trying to, I don't want to be partisan here or play politics. This is not about me. It is about our kids, and it is about our future. It's about winning Ontario, it's about winning Sherway. And I say Sherway because it's home. It's where I grew up. I know all too well where this plant is going to be situated or where it's not going to be situated. All that matters now is where we're going to go. I'm not going to deflect blame. I'm not going to talk about who did what, who did not. What we are going to talk about today is what are we going to do next. We have a number of alternatives. We have the Lake Ontario, which I spoke about outside, which is a great source of energy through geothermal. We now have 2.5 acres of solar panels right here out in Clarkson to generate sufficient energy to sustain that community. We have right here in our community lithium batteries being produced to provide for storage of that excess power that we've already spoken about, to provide us with a peaker sense. These are the alternatives. These are the things that we can do now to safeguard our community, to lessen the requirement for fossil fuel. This government has done a lot, folks, to try to provide for green energy. It's not just about green environmental issues, it's economic benefit as well. You know, I get a little bit testy about this, so I'm going to try to stay cool here, but what you need, and what we all need, is someone with some experience to fight this. We have fought together on these issues before. And I'm going to continue to fight for you because I'm not just fighting for you, I must say, I'm fighting for my family as well. This is going to work because of the work that you're doing now. This is going to work because of some of the requests already made for an environmental bump-up, an environmental review, an independent review of what's there. The Premier's office is certainly aware of your concerns because we've made it very clear. He's also anxious to find a way to determine what it is that we can do to get this to resolve our issue. One of them is, how is this going to impact our community? For me, it's pretty clear. We have lower stacks in this revised proposal. That means the point of impingement is going to be more direct to our homes. We have a power plant that's being proposed right next to Etobicoke Creek. How dumb is that? We have a proposal that's going to be 100 meters away from the closest home, as Dorothy mentioned. You can't even put a windmill that close. We have the hospitals nearby. We have a train track that goes right by the power plant. Anything should happen there or in steam, that's going to be hazardous in my opinion. We've made that clear too. So folks, we're going to continue to do this fight. We're going to find ways to protect ourselves. Some have already argued, well, gosh, it's going to be terribly expensive to wrap this up. And it's interesting that the proponent will not talk to us. I'm very disappointed in the process by which this has taken place because it seems pretty underhanded, a rather behind-the-scenes activity. I'm not going to continue speaking because all I want to suggest to you is that when you do look at what we need to do, look at who it is that's going to make it happen for you. Look at who has talked and what are they going to be able to do for you in the end. Look at who is not talking. Look at who's not here to fight for you. I have asked Yakubuski, the energy critic for the Conservatives, to come up and speak even during the time of the Oakville and Clarkson issue. His response was, you went to NIMBYs and that's not a bad place to go. And frankly, they're already at the cruise site. And the NDP has not come forward as well. They're asking and talking about getting rid of nuclear. Well, gosh, that's going to even mean we need to have more energy in alternative ways. Conservation is certainly the answer. Green renewals is certainly the answer. In our community, as already mentioned, we have long-range transmission that can facilitate. We have sufficient power. Folks, we're going to fight hard. I'm going to fight beside you. Thank you.